Good evening. Welcome to the DigiSeminar of Det Filipinski Alpesampun in Norge, FHS of Team Newbie in Norway. I'm Judith, a volunteer of FHS Team NIN, and together with me is also a volunteer in FHS, Elena. For everyone's information, FHS is an NGO which helps with information drive to benefit the migrant groups in Norway. We are not from NAV nor any government agency. We are to present some of the general information published by the agencies on their website. Information may or may not apply to your situation. Discretion is necessary. Under no circumstances will our organization be held responsible or liable in any way for any claims or liabilities resulting or arising directly or indirectly from your use of the information we are about to present. So, get your pen and paper ready so you can jot down all the information that you might need. We will discuss some important information and tips when applying for a job here in Norway. Sit back, get a drink, and let us open the floor.
Thank you, Judith, for the very warm welcome and introduction. Hello to all our viewers and welcome to our live event on how to get a job in Norway. I'm Elena. I'm also a volunteer of FHS Team NIN. The aim of this DigiSeminar is to get to know some of the most important information and steps to take in seeking and landing a job here in Norway. Kindly let us know which city or country you came from. Just leave a comment down below and let's make the comment section interactive. I think there's a lot of people right now waiting for this event because they think that this topic is very relevant.
When applying for a job, some of the questions you might be curious or interested to know are: first, to know where to start with the job search. Second, to know what to prepare before applying. Third, to have more tips and tricks on how to do the job application. But the most important thing is to have a valid visa. You can check requirements and application guidelines online by visiting the UDI website. Once you have secured this and have moved to Norway, you have to do the following. First, register or send your application online and book your appointment at the police station or at the service centers to get. Second, register or send your application online and book your appointment. Register certificate if you are EEA or European Economic Area or a residence permit. If you are non-EEA national, you should have a D number or a national ID number. Also, apply for a tax deduction card at one of the listed on page 42 tax office, Skatteetaten, or the service centers. Register in connection with moving to Norway if you intend to stay in Norway for more than 6 months. We would also suggest that you also open a bank account to get a bank ID to be registered and verified.
That's right, Judith. For some of our viewers who are already working and are professionals from their country of origins, and you wish to have foreign education and or work experience recognized, the Norwegian Competence Center for Foreign Education and Norwegian Agency for Quality Assurance in Education, or NOQUT, provides information about the Norwegian Recognition Scheme. The Competence Center will refer you to the correct agency, which will be able to help you. NOQUT is also the point of contact for the recognition of professional qualifications for professionals regulated by law in Norway, covered by Directive 2005/36/EC. The Norwegian Agency for Quality Assurance in Education, or NOKUT, provides general recognition, level and scope of higher education from other countries. This means that NOKUT can grant you credit and, if applicable, provide general recognition of your education degree as being equivalent to the university college degree, bachelor degree, master's degree, or a PhD degree. However, NOKUT does not provide recognition of the academic content of an education. Norwegian universities and university colleges consider application for recognition of the academic content of an education that is equivalent to the educational programs they provide. NOKUT does not recognize vocational qualifications that are not defined as higher education in the home country, and it does not grant authorization to regulated professions. Furthermore, further information about the recognition of the higher education, documentation requirements, and the approval process is available at their website, www.nokut.no.
Yeah. Thank you, Elena. Now that we have the basic and important information we need to secure, we are ready to find out where to start with a job search. You can visit the NAV database at www.nav.no. You will find Norway's largest job vacancies database. When you registered as a user of the job seeker services at www.nav.no, you get your own page where you can enter permanent searches for vacancies and publish your own CV. You can also receive an email notification of relevant vacancies. As a registered user, you may also be contacted by the employers. So, do you have a little work experience or you have been out for work for a long time? Do you need new skills or help to get into working life? NAV has offers for you who need to help getting to work. The steps you might take are: first, register as a job seeker. If you are not registered as a job seeker with NAB, you can choose to make your CV visible to employers so that they can contact you directly. You are entitled to NAV to assess your need for guidance.
Well said, Judith. Furthermore, NAB assesses what kind of guidance you need when you registered as a job seeker. To make this assessment, you must have information about your age, you have been at work, your education, any challenges. If there are changes that mean that the information you have given to NAB is no longer correct, you can contact them at nab.no. Then they will make a new assessment of your need for services. They also have information about job seeker in the in about the same situation as you. This allows them to assume something about your chances of finding a job. Based on that, an automatic suggestion is made as to which services they think may be right for you. They call this proposal profiling. A supervisor evaluates the proposal and send you a decision in the mail. The goal is to help you get a job or find the right activity for you. Once you have registered as a job seeker, you can start planning in your activity plan. Together with your supervisor, you enter goals and activities that suits you and your situation. The supervisor will follow up in the activity plan, and you have a digital dialogue or have meeting by phone, video, or at the NAB office. You have the right to receive an activity plan once you have registered with NAB. In the activity plan, you and your supervisor have an overview of activities you you do to get to work or another activity.
That's right, Elena. For those of you who are wondering about the use of activity plans, once you have registered as a job seeker with NAB, you will receive an activity plan. In the activity plan, you keep track of what you do to get to work or another activity. Both you and your NAB supervisor can see and change in the activity plan. You can enter your goal, activities, and to do positions you want to apply for. The supervisor can, among other goals, activities to do and positions you want to apply for. The supervisor can submit suggestions for activities or write minutes from a meeting you have had. NAV uses the content of the activity plan and other information you provide to your supervisor to assess your need to follow up. You can also get access to a dialogue to service where you can communicate with your supervisor about work and follow up. NAV shall assess your ability to work if you or they believe that your ability to work may be reduced. Then they will see what help you need and whether you can get financial support. They assess your opportunities and limitations in working and look at how your health affects the opportunities to be at work.
How does NAB assess your ability to work? They assess your opportunities and challenges against the demands of working life. They look at what kind of competence, language skills, and personal qualities a profession requires, and whether it is possible to adapt. They also see if there are current vacancies in your hometown, in the area you live in, or in the other part of the country. They are based on conversations with you, information you have given to them, and the information in your CV. You will receive a decision from them. The decision says how much help and support you need from NAB to get a job. Know that you can appeal the decision and why this assessment. NAB assessment whether you are entitled to work assessment allowance or disability benefit. They look in particular at your opportunities to get back to your current employer, find work where you live, and find work elsewhere. If you are applying for disability benefits, your ability to work must be clarified. Your ability to work can change over time. This may be due to changes in your health, your skills, or the situation on the labor market. It is important that you let the NAV know about changes that affects your ability to work if you are in an initiative or receiving financial benefits. Then you have the right to get a new assessment of your opportunities to work.
Thank you, Elena. Moving forward to filling up your CV, adapt your CV to the job you are applying for, depending on how much work experience and education you have. The application is response to the ad. The application should respond directly to the job advertisement and show that you can be the right person for that job. The goal of the job application is to be called for an interview. Start with the CV first, then it is easier to write the application. Employers often require both a CV and application letter when applying for a job. At arbeidsplassen.no, you can get good tips on how to write a good CV and application. It is not that difficult. So, with that, here are the quick important points and to include in your CV. So first, customize your CV. Find out what information is important to the employer. Adapt your CV to the job who you are applying for, depending on how much work experience and education you have. Second, personal information. CV should have your name, date of birth, email, telephone number, and address. Third, education. Start with the education you took last. Subjects or names of education must be included also. State place of study and when the education started and ended. Fourth, work experience. Start with the last job. List the job title and the period you worked there. You can also state work tasks and areas of responsibility in the form of keywords. Fifth, other experience. If you have experience from, for example, positions or volunteer work, you should include it. Positions or trusts from schools, sports, housing associations, and the like show that you are willing to take responsibility, are outgoing, and committed. Driver license. If you have a driver's license, it may be a good idea to bring it with you. And of course, necessary if the position requires a driver's license. Course. List the courses that are relevant to the position you are applying for. If you have taken an accounting course, it is relevant for financial positions. First aid courses may be relevant for some jobs. Language. List the language you master and what level orally and in writing. Remember to bring your first language or your mother tongue. Certifications and certificates. If you have one or more certifications, for example, ADK certification, include it in your CV. Truck drive truck driver's license another example. Trade certificate or journeyman certificate, master certificate and authorization. If you have taken a vocational education and have a trade certificate of journeyman certificate, you should include it in your CV. You can write, I can send diplomas and certificates on request in the application. Never deliver original documents from you. You must ensure that copies and diplomas are certified. A copy with stamp and signature shows that the copy is correct if the employer requires it.
Yes, after creating a CV, a good application is the prerequisite for an employer to want to meet you. Read the ad carefully and see what they are asking for. You should bring this with you. One, start with a brief introduction about where you found the position. Describe why you want this particular job. Number two, what qualities and experience do you have that are important for this position? Bring out your strengths. Number three, in a short conclusion, you tell how you can be contacted, when you can start in the job, and that you hope for position feedback. More tips. Feel free to contact the employer before submitting an application. It is a good idea to plan what to ask before contacting you. Number two, the application must be short and targeted. The application must look neat and should be one page at most. Focus on what you can do. Avoid typos. Also, once the application and CV have been sent, you must be available by phone and check your email frequently. And also write a new application for each job you apply for. If you have not heard anything 2 to 3 weeks after the application deadline, you can contact the employer and hear how far they have come in the process. Remember to send your CV together with the job application. You can register your CV free of charge at arbeidsplassen.no. Remember to spend time making a good CV and application and send your CV together with the job application. Lastly, you can have an open application. What ah, are there places you would like to work? You can send a job application even if the employer has not advertised any vacancies. This is called an open application. An open application is similar to a regular application, but be clear about why you want to work right there. Now to the next step that seems scary for most, the job interview. If you are well prepared, it won't be as scary as it seems. Check what kind of interview you are going on. The traditional face-to-face interview with an employer is still the most common, but there are several forms of interviewing. Is it a traditional interview, telephone interview, video interview, or a group interview? Personality and skill sets can also be part of the interview process. It is common with several rounds of interviews, sometimes with both interviews and tests. Some companies replace the first time interview with a recruitment day, where you have to work on solving various cases. Presentation and speed interviews. Interviews can be different, but even if it is the interviewer you mainly relate to, you should show that you perceive that the others are present and that you recognize them. Give everyone a good handshake before and after the interview. You can also be interviewed by a recruitment agency on behalf of the employer. Prepare for the interview. In the interview, you must convince the employer that you fit in the company and that you are a safe choice. Think about what you want to answer before you show up for the interview.
Yeah. Prepare for the interview questions. If the employer thinks you are interesting candidate for that position, he or she will call you in for an interview. The purpose of the interview is to get to know you better as person. Many questions recur from interview to interview. Here you can see a nice overview of common questions you can get in an interview. If there is a question you feel you do not have a good answer to during the interview, take your time and answer as best as you can. The most important thing is that you are yourself. Do not be modest. This is a good opportunity to show who you are. Think about your own limits to how private you want to be. The employer does not have the right to know political orientation, sexual orientation, which religion you belong to, or whether you are unionized.
Yes, now with that information and tips, would you like to have more? Here we go. We have more tips and tricks on job application. Number one, start with yourself, and that is to describe your competence. Make a list of who you are as a person. What is your motivation for applying for jobs? What can you do and what are your personal qualities? What are your strengths and what is unique about you? When you reflect on and become confident on your own competence, it becomes easier to write good applications and you are better prepared for the interview. In some industries, the employer places great emphasis on the competence you have through education and vocational training. It can be anything from a vocational subject in high school to the degree from college or university. Number two, courses and education. It can be useful to take courses or education to get the skills you need for the job you want. If you receive unemployment benefits, you can apply to combine unemployment benefit with education or training. Utdaning.no is the national web portal for information about education and profession. Billbelieve.no is information for you who are applying for upper secondary education. At lonecasa.no, you can read about your opportunities to get a loan and scholarship. Also, check if NAB has current courses in your county. Number three, uh, improve your Norwegian skills. Good Norwegian skill can be crucial when applying for a job. Kompetansenorge.no has made an overview of Norwegian language training online. JobX.no offers free job search courses in Oslo for you between 16 and 26 years old, regardless of level of Norwegian skills. If you wish, NAB can review the application and CV with you before you send it. If you have registered as a job seeker, you can arrange an hour with a supervisor by calling NAB on 5555-3333.
Yeah. In addition to tips and tricks on job application, you may also want to start your own business. Do you have ambitions to start for yourself? Preparation and planning are a prerequisite for establishing a viable business. See Altin.no and Innovation Norway. If you have been granted unemployment benefits, you can apply to keep the unemployment benefits while you establish your own business. Register your CV in several places. Register your CV on several job portals at the same time. Also, staffing agency follow up. Be active. Keep in touch where you register your CV. See an overview of job portals, staffing and recruitment agencies at uio.no. Apply for temporary jobs. A temporary job can be a good option, even if you are laid off or a part-time employee. A temporary job can lead to an extension or permanent employment. It's easier to get a new job when you're already at work. Use your network, friends, and family. Many find new jobs through their network. Tell them you're looking for a job. The more people you talk to, the greater the chance the opportunity will arise. Contact an acquaintance, former colleague, or employer who has a good network of contacts. Ask if they know anyone who might be interested in your experience and expertise. Maybe a job opportunity arises. Use social media. It is common for companies to use social media such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and blogs when recruiting. There are also great platforms for you to get in touch with potential employers. Follow companies in social media. If you are interested in working in particular company, you can like or follow their page. There you can see how the company presents itself. You can also follow individuals who work in the company, capture tips, and see opportunities that you may not have imagined. Create a LinkedIn profile. Several employers and recruitment agencies use LinkedIn when searching for employees. You can create a LinkedIn profile. Remember to keep it updated. Contact employers directly on LinkedIn. Join groups on LinkedIn that are of interest to you. Be sure to show off and be seen by potential employers. Last, attend job fairs. At job fairs, you can meet employers face to face and make contacts. Google job fairs in your area or anywhere else in the country you would like to work. Bring your CV and meet current employers. Show your interest and be curious about different companies and industries.
Yes, here you have it. To reiterate, we are the FHS, not the member of NAB or any employment agencies. This program is part of the integration and voluntary activities of our organization. Our purpose is primarily aimed at Filipinos and other minority groups living in Norway and Filipinos in the Philippines. For those who missed this live program, don't worry. You can replay it on our official page at fhs.org.no and watch it on our YouTube channel, the Filipino Helping Society in Norway. Visit our website as well, www.fhsnorge.org, for more updates, other information drive, and to know more about our organization. We also want to promote the Team Newbies in Norway's activities and programs. Språk Cafe, our monthly DigiSeminar, tips to newbies in Norway. FHS, for example, FHS Nisharingen. We warmly welcome our new set of volunteers.
Yeah. And if you are passionate to help and want to utilize your skills, competence, and talents in serving others, please be one of us and be part of our community. You can register as a member and volunteer for free through our website. There are several benefits for all FHS members and volunteers. Again, visit our website at www.fhsnorge.org. On behalf of the Philippine Skill Pesampun Inorge, FHS, I would like to first thank the great people who put a lot of effort in preparing for this program, the FHS Newbie in Norway team. I would also like to thank you all for watching the program and making it as productive as possible. Again, this has been Judith.
And this is Elena wishing job seekers good luck with your job search and to everyone a safe, calm, and cozy Saturday evening.
Have a nice evening, everyone.